Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia was region of status as of Indian subcontinent and south of China. It consists of two similar portions, a continental project and a stir of archipelago to the south and east of the mainland, extending some 700 miles southward from the mainland into insular Southeast Asia in a Malay peninsula. This peninsula structure is part of the mainland, but it also shares many ecological and cultural affinity with the South Southern Iceland, and thus functions as a bridge between the two regions. Mainland Southeast Asia is divided into the countries of Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, and the small city-state of Singapore. At the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam, which occupy the eastern portion of the mainland, often are collectively called the Indonesian Peninsula. Malaysia is both mainland and insular, with a western portion on the Malay Peninsula and an eastern part on the island of Borneo. Except for the small sultanate of Borneo, the remainder of insular Southeast Asia consists of the archipelagic nature of Indonesia and the Philippines. Southeast Asia stretches some 4,000 miles at its greatest and encompasses some of the land sea. Mount Akagabo in northern Myanmar on the border with China is the highest peak of mainland Southeast Asia. Although the modern nation of the region and sometimes those of a beginning small, they are, with the exception of Singapore and Brunei, comparatively large. Indonesia, for example, is more than 3,000 miles of west to east and more than 1,000 miles from north to south. The area of Laos is only slightly smaller than that of the United Kingdom, and Myanmar is considerably larger than France. All of Southeast fall within the tropical and subtropical climate zone, and much of it receives considerable annual precipitation. It is subject to an extent and regular monsoonal weather system that produce mild, wet, and dry periods in most of the regions. Southeast Asia landscape is characterized by the three intermingled physical elements: mountain, land, pan, and petrol, and water in the form of both shadow and sea extensive drainage system. Of these, the least will probably have been of the greatest historical and cultural significance. Four waterways have decisively transformed the settlement and agriculture determine fundamental political and economic patterns, and helped define the nature of Southeast Asian worldview and distinctive culture significance. It also has been of great importance to Southeast Asia, which is the most easily classified tropical region in the world. Lies strategically Arctic, the sea passing between East Asia and the Middle Eastern and Mediterranean world. Within this broad outline, South Asia is perhaps the most diverse region on Earth. The number of large and small ecological niches is more than matched by staggering variety of economic, social, and cultural niches. Southeast Asia have developed of themselves. Hundreds of ethnic groups and languages have been identified. Under this constraint, it's often difficult to keep in mind the region undying in unity, and it's understandable that Southeast Asia should show often trace as a miscellaneous collection of culture that simply do not quite find anywhere else. Yes, from ancient times, Southeast Asia has been considered by its neighbor to be a region in the one line and not merely an extension of their one land. The Chinese call it Nanyang and the Japanese Nanyu, both names meaning Southeast, and Southeast Asian use some the term as Vanapum to describe the area. Modern scholarship in security has yielded evidence of both incommodity using the people of the region across time. Study in historical regularities, for example, has suggested that the vast majority of Southeast Asian languages, even many of those previously considered to have expressed original interspan for common root, or have been long and inseparably intertwined. Despite inevitable variation among society, common view of gender, family structure, and social hierarchy, and mobility may be decided through mainland and insular Southeast Asia, and a broadly common commercial and cultural inheritance of continue to affect to entire regions of several millennia. These and other commonalities have yet to pose as concepts of persist Southeast Asian identity, but they have given substance to the idea of Southeast Asia as a definable of region has provided a framework of the comparative study of its components.
Life begins when we discover new things. This journey is simply endless. Discovering is so easy. Makes you realize there's always something more. The air I breathe, everything I sense makes me alive. Explore the darkness, embrace the light. Follow the passion that always craves for adventure, while the mainstream here only means to be challenged and becomes one. So exciting! Live the wildlife. Sometimes you feel you've discovered something, but then you realize it's the soul that tries to reach out beyond your mind. Losing and then finding yourself never been this good. Life that charged you beyond limit.
We belong here, where the vibes from our old songs returning. With the force of a longing heart, we're here again.
Hi, Sandy.
Yes, hi.
Okay, could I interview you about Southeast Asia?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. Number one, do you know Southeast Asia before?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What do you think about Southeast Asia?
I think it's composed of 10 countries of diversity in religions. It's also one of the most dynamic area of the world economically. Yeah.
Okay, for answer and the third question, what do you think economic in the future of Southeast Asia?
I believe can make a profit more and more for the partner. Yeah, and have a lot of trade and for less direct investment for the partnership.
Oh, okay, that's good. The first question, what do you think which country that interesting?
I interesting about Singapore because they have a high technology and the center of shipment in the Southeast Asia.
Oh, so that's okay. And the last question,
Yes.
what do you think culture in Southeast Asia?
I think
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you for your answer my interview, Sandy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.